Something inside you has been listening to you for a very long time, and it's ready to hear something new, not from the world, from you. Because you may not notice it at first, but the universe notices. The universe notices what you whisper to yourself when the lights are off. It notices what you say under your breath after a mistake. It notices the way you speak to your heart when no one is watching. And it has been trying to reach you through those moments, not through noise, through the quiet, through that pause after you accomplished something and still felt empty, through that strange ache when someone loved you and you couldn't quite receive it, through that tired feeling that comes from always trying to be good enough in a way that never ends. You see, the universe does not measure you the way you've been measuring you. And this message, this one, comes to you at a very specific time in your life. Because you are ready to stop living inside sentences that were never meant to be your home. You may not realize it, but you live inside the words you repeat when the room goes quiet. Words are not just sounds. They are not just thoughts passing through. Words are atmospheres. They become the emotional air you breathe. And when your own words are sharp or doubting or demanding, you can be surrounded by comfort and still feel unsafe inside yourself. That is not because you are broken. It is because you learned a language of worth that was never true. Many of us did. We learned it early, sometimes before we could even form it clearly in our minds. A look that said, "Don't be too much." A silence that said, "Don't ask for what you need." A compliment that arrived only when you achieved, not when you simply existed. And then the mind, sweet, brilliant mind, did what it thought it had to do to protect you. It started creating rules. It started writing little inner ski rips. If I'm perfect, I'll be safe. If I'm useful, I won't be left. If I don't need anything, no one can disappoint me. If I do more, I'll finally feel worthy. And you carried those lines with you. You carried them into relationships, into work, into your private moments. You carried them into the mirror. You carried them into your body. And somewhere along the way, you began to mistake those borrowed sentences for your identity. Many of the sentences you've been using to measure yourself were not born in your soul. They were handed to you. Handed down by family patterns, by culture, by survival, by people who were doing their best and still did not know how to speak love without conditions. So let's be very gentle right here. Because you don't need to be ashamed of how you learned to talk to yourself. You learned it the way you learned everything else, through repetition, through observation, through what was rewarded and what was ignored. And the universe has been patient with you. It has watched you try to earn the feeling you were always meant to have. It has watched you chase approval like it was oxygen. It has watched you apologize for your presence, soften your opinions, shrink your joy, just in case someone might not understand it. And even then, it has not turned away. It has been guiding you back, quietly. Through the times you felt unseen, through the times you outgrew a room and felt guilty about it, through the times you could no longer tolerate your own self-criticism. That moment when you said, "I can't keep talking to myself like this," that was not weakness. That was the universe tapping you on the shoulder, saying, "We can change this now." When you change the words you offer yourself, you don't force life to change. You change what you allow yourself to receive from life. This is important, because people sometimes think new words are pretending. They think kindness toward themselves is denial. But the truth is, harshness is not honesty. Harshness is habit. It is an old protection strategy that stayed too long, and you can thank it and still release it. I know this to be true. Your inner language is a form of self-care. It is also a form of self-leadership. Because the voice you speak to yourself with becomes the voice your life answers. Not because the universe is punishing you, because the universe responds to your willingness to belong to yourself. When your words say, "I don't matter," you will unconsciously accept crumbs. When your words say, "I must prove," you will unconsciously choose exhaustion. When your words say, "I'm not allowed to take up space," you will unconsciously dim. And then you wonder why your life feels smaller than your soul. So the universe begins again, not by changing everything outside you, but by helping you change the way you meet yourself. Let's look gently at the exact moments your worth gets questioned, because those moments are not failures, they are invitations. It might happen when you compare yourself, your skas rolling, and suddenly your body tightens a little. You see someone else's success, someone else's beauty, someone else's confidence, and a sentence appears. Not as a shout, as a quiet sting. They have what I don't. I'm behind. What's wrong with me? It might happen after a mistake. You misjudge something, forget something, say something awkward, and the mind rushes in with an old familiar line. See? Of course. It might happen when you're rejected, not chosen, not replied to, not included. And there it is again, that sentence trying to make meaning. I'm not wanted. Or it might happen in the most tender place of all, when someone offers you love, a compliment, a gift, a kind word, and you feel yourself flinch inside, as if receiving would be dangerous, as if being valued would expose you, as if your worth must always be questioned, even when it is being witnessed. These are not random moments. These are the moments where your old inner language shows itself, and the universe has been using them like little doorways. Because each time that old sentence appears, you are given a choice. Not a perfect choice, a gentle choice. Do I keep speaking to myself the way I was spoken to? Or do I become the one who speaks differently now? I want you to imagine something very simple. Imagine you have a key ring. not a heavy one with too many keys, a small, meaningful ring, and on it are a few keys. Each key is a set of words, and each set of words opens a different inner doorway, because you don't need one sentence for every moment. You need the right words for the moment you're in. When shame appears, you need a key for shame. When comparison appears, you need a key for comparison. When you feel forgotten, you need a key for that. When you feel unsure, you need a key for that. And the universe, in its quiet precision, has brought you here to hand you that key ring, not to make you someone else, to return you to who you already are, under the noise. Now, before we choose new words, let's honor something. Those old words you've been using, they were trying to help you survive. They were trying to keep you safe. If you criticized yourself first, maybe no one else could hurt you. If you demanded perfection from yourself, maybe you would avoid rejection. If you stayed small, maybe you would not be punished for shining. This was not stupidity. This was adaptation. And you can thank your past self for adapting. You can say quietly, "You did what you knew how to do." And then you can take your own hand now, because you are not that child anymore. You are not trapped in that old room. You are not waiting for someone else to grant you worth. And you do not have to keep using a survival language in a life that is ready for healing. There is a particular kind of tired that comes from being impressive and still feeling invisible. You know that tired. It is not just physical, it is spiritual. It is the tired of always calculating your value, the tired of always asking, "Am I doing enough? Am I being enough?" The tired of carrying your heart like it must earn its place. And the universe has compassion for that tired. It is not disappointed in you. It is not pushing you. It is simply saying, you can put that down now. Because worth is not a performance. Worth is a birthright. It is what you came with. And if you have forgotten it, it is not because you are unworthy. It is because you have been speaking a language that makes remembering difficult. So let's give you a new language, not a loud one, not one that feels fake, a language that is believable, a language your body can soften into. Now I want you to try on a new set of words, not as a performance, but as a kindness, and we will do it slowly, because the point is not to force the mind. The point is to offer it a new direction, gently, consistently, patiently. If it helps, you can place one hand over your heart, not because you must, because it can remind you that you are here, with you. And the first key on your ring is for the moment you feel you must prove yourself. For the moment you feel you must earn your place. The words are, I don't have to audition for belonging. Let that land. I don't have to audition for belonging. You may feel resistance. That's okay. Resistance is just the old pattern trying to stay in charge. You can breathe and say it again softly. I don't have to audition for belonging. Notice what happens in your shoulders, your jaw, your stomach. Sometimes the body relaxes first. Sometimes it takes time. Either way, you are planting something new. The second key is for the moment you make a mistake. For the moment you want to punish yourself with your words. The words are, I can learn without being unkind. Yes, because learning does not require cruelty. Growth does not require humiliation. So you say, I can learn without being unkind. And if the old voice says, but then you'll never improve, you can answer with calm authority. I improve when I feel supported inside, because that is how human beings thrive. The third key is for comparison. For the moment you see someone else and your mind tries to make you smaller, the words are, their path does not cancel mine. Feel that. Their path does not cancel mine. Somewhere deep inside, you know this. Because life is not one narrow hallway. Life is a vast landscape. And the universe did not create you to be a copy of another person's expression. So you say, their path does not cancel mine. And if you want to soften it even more, you can add, I am still in motion, not rushing, not behind. In motion. The fourth key is for the moment you feel rejected or overlooked, for the moment you start writing painful stories about what it means. The words are, I am not defined by a closed door. Yes, because your value does not rise and fall with someone's response. So you say, I am not defined by a closed door. And the universe, quietly, may remind you, there are doors you did not enter because they were not built for your becoming. Not everything that leaves is a loss. Sometimes it is a clearing. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes, as it is space being made for what can actually hold you. The fifth key is for receiving. For the moment, you are offered love, praise, or help, and you feel the instinct to deflect. The words are, I am allowed to receive this. Simple, direct. I am allowed to receive this. Not because you are better than anyone, because you are a human being. So you say, I am allowed to receive this. And you breathe. And you let the compliment land in your chest for 2 seconds longer than you usually would. You let the kindness touch you. You let the universe practice giving to you without you pushing it away. Now you may be thinking, but what if I don't believe these words yet? Sweetheart, belief is not the entry requirement. Willingness is. You do not need to feel convinced. You only need to be open to a new possibility. Because words are not just declarations. They are directions. They turn the inner steering wheel. And at first, The mind may drift back to the old road. That's normal. You are not failing when you forget. You are practicing. And every time you remember again, that is the real moment of change. The point of power is always in the present moment, not in your perfect consistency. In your return, let's go a little deeper now, because true worth is not just an idea. It is a feeling state. It is the way you inhabit your own life. And many people have been taught to confuse worth with usefulness. If I'm helpful, I matter. If I'm needed, I'm secure. But being needed is not the same as being loved, and being useful is not the same as being worthy. Your worth does not vanish on your tired days. It does not disappear when you rest. It does not shrink when you say no. It does not decrease when you are still figuring things out. It does not require you to be inspiring all the time. So I want to offer you another key, a quieter one, for rest. For the moment, you feel guilty for slowing down. The words are, rest is not a reward, it is a right. Yes, rest is not a reward, it is a right. And you breathe, because your nervous system has been holding you up for so long, and the universe is saying, you do not have to carry everything with tension to deserve your life. Now let's talk about the mirror, because the mirror is where many people lose their tenderness. They look, and instead of seeing a human being, they see a project, a list, a problem to fix, a comparison to someone else. And the words that follow can be so automatic, so normal to you that you don't even hear the cruelty in them, but your body hears it. Your body hears everything. Your body lives inside your words. So I want you to imagine, just for a moment, that you are looking at someone you love, someone you would never speak harshly to. Would you stand them in front of a mirror and say the things you say to yourself? No, of course not. And the universe is not asking you to lie in the mirror. It is asking you to stop abandoning yourself there. So you take a breath and choose a key for the mirror. The words are, I speak to myself with respect. Simple, strong. I speak to myself with respect. And respect does not mean you must feel thrilled about everything. Respect means you do not degrade yourself. Respect means you do not use violence in your language. Respect means you remember you are a living being, not an object. Sometimes the deepest wound around worth is this: you didn't feel chosen, not fully, not consistently. You felt tolerated, or you felt like you had to earn love by being easy, quiet, good, impressive. And so now, even as an adult, a part of you is still waiting, waiting to be selected, waiting to be rescued, waiting to be approved. And the universe, in its mysterious timing, has allowed that waiting to become uncomfortable, not to punish you, to free you, because you are not meant to live as a person waiting to be picked. You are meant to live as a person who picks themselves, not arrogantly, tenderly, decisively. So here is a key for the moment you feel needy, or lonely, or like you're too much for having feelings. The words are, "My needs do not make me a burden." Let your heart hear that. My needs do not make me a burden. And if tears come, that's okay. Tears are often the body's way of saying, finally, someone is speaking truth here. Now notice what we are doing. We are not fighting the old thoughts. We are not wrestling with them. We are not turning healing into another task you must do perfectly. We are offering the mind new sentences and letting them be gentle interruptions. Because every time an old thought arrives, you can meet it like this. "Oh, there you are. I know you." And then you choose your key, you choose your words, and you turn the inner lock. Over time, the door you keep opening becomes familiar, and the door you stop opening becomes quiet. That is how change happens. Not in one dramatic moment, in small moments of devotion to yourself. And the universe loves small moments. Because small moments are where lives actually shift. Let's bring this into everyday life. Imagine you wake up and you feel heavy, not inspired, not radiant, just human. The old language might say, "What's wrong with you? Get it together." And you pause, and you choose a different key. The words are, "I can move gently today," because gentleness is not weakness. Gentleness is mastery. It is strength that does not need to shout. Imagine you're about to speak up, and you feel fear. Your throat tightens. Your mind says, "Don't bother, you'll sound stupid." And you pause, and you choose a key for voice. The words are, "My voice deserves room." My voice deserves room. Not because you will always say it perfectly, because you have the right to be heard. Imagine you set a boundary and guilt shows up. The mind says, "You're selfish, you're mean," and you pause, and you choose a key for boundaries. The words are, "I honor myself without apology." Yes, I honor myself without apology. And you breathe. Because boundaries are not punishment, they are clarity. They are self-respect in action. Now I want you to understand something very tender. When you speak words of worth to yourself, you are not just changing your mood, you are changing your relationship with life. Because life mirrors the relationship you have with you. Not as a cruel test, as a natural reflection. When you stop treating yourself as disposable, you stop accepting disposable treatment. When you stop speaking to yourself like a disappointment, you stop looking for proof that you are one. When you begin to live inside respectful words, your choices begin to match that respect, and the universe can finally deliver to you what you could not receive before. Not because it was withholding, because you were still speaking a language that said, I can't hold good things. So this is your preparation. This is your alignment. This is the quiet work that changes everything. Now, let's do a gentle sequence together. Not rushed, not forced, just a slow bathing of the mind in a new atmosphere. You can repeat these aloud or softly in your mind. And if one line feels too far away, you can simply listen. Listening is also planting. Here we go. I don't have to audition for belonging. I can learn without being unkind. Their path does not cancel mine. I am not defined by a closed door. I am allowed to receive this. Rest is not a reward. It is a right. I speak to myself with respect. My needs do not make me a burden. I can move gently today. My voice deserves room. I honor myself without apology. Now take a breath and notice your body. Notice if anything loosened. Notice if your face softened. Notice if a part of you feels a little more here. That is worth. Not as a concept, as a presence, as a returning. And now, I want to speak to the part of you that says, but I've been hard on myself for so long. Will I ever change? Yes. And you do not have to change with force. You can change with tenderness, because the mind learns through repetition and through safety. So if you slip back into an old sentence, don't punish yourself. That only repeats the pattern. Instead, you can say, oh, that's the old language. And you choose again. Every return is a victory. Every gentle correction is self-love in action. And the universe, quietly, celebrates your returns. Because returns mean you are no longer lost in the old story. You are becoming conscious, and consciousness is the beginning of freedom. There is something else the universe wants you to know today. Your true worth is not just for the days when you feel confident. It is for the days when you feel unsure. It is for the days when you feel messy. It is for the days when you feel like you don't know what you're doing. It is for the days when you feel like you are starting over. Worth is not an award for people who have it all together. Worth is the ground you stand on while you figure it out. So when the mind says, I'm not there yet, you can answer with a key for becoming. The words are, I am allowed to be in progress. Yes, I am allowed to be in progress. And let that soften the urgency. Because urgency often comes from fear. And fear does not need to drive your healing. Now you might also be carrying the weight of old shame. Not just about what you did, but about who you were when you were doing your best to cope. Maybe you stayed too long. Maybe you settled. Maybe you ignored yourself. Maybe you didn't speak up. Maybe you loved someone who could not love you back. And the mind wants to use that as evidence that you are not worthy. But shame is not proof. Shame is a call for compassion. So here is a key for shame. The words are, I release the idea that I must punish myself to be redeemed. Let your heart breathe around that. I release the idea that I must punish myself to be redeemed. Because punishment does not heal the past. It only repeats it. Compassion transforms. And the universe is always interested in transformation, not condemnation. Now let's return to the theme of the message. Because this is not just a talk about words. This is a message that has found you. And if you are listening, you can feel it. The universe has been trying to reach you through stillness, through the moment you sat alone and realized you were tired of fighting yourself, through the moment you realized your life would feel different if you were on your own side, through the moment you felt a quiet longing, not for more success, not for more validation, but for peace inside your own mind. That longing is sacred. That longing is guidance. That longing is life calling you home. So when you wonder if you are behind, remember this: you are not behind. You are right on time for the moment you finally change the way you speak to yourself. And that moment is now. Not perfectly, now. Tonight, when you return to yourself, let your words be the place where you finally meet your own tenderness. You do not have to fix your entire life in one day. You do not have to heal everything at once, but you can choose one sentence, one key, one gentle truth, and carry it with you. And when the old voice rises, you can pause, you can breathe, you can place your hand on your heart, and you can speak in a way that honors the life in you. Because you are not here to be your own enemy. You are here to be your own